Yo YouTube, we back with another video, and today I'm gonna show you guys how I made about a little over $800 and just go over the trade recap, why I took the trade, why I was confident in what I took. So let's just get right into it. So it's on the YouTube video, but it's pretty much just gonna be um I'm gonna mute it, I'm gonna do a little bit of voiceovers, then I'm gonna let the video play out as well. So I went short right there at the open because we finally had gotten under that 1 minute change, which I'll show you guys. But we were very close to changing on the 2 minute as well. So we picked up, price action picked up a lot, and SMT still held. So I was confident in what I was seeing, and you know, the sell side that I wanted to target was all the way down there. And I had my take profit a little bit below or a little bit, above it. So yeah, I went short. If you guys can see right there, 1 minute chart. Look, I keep jumping back on the 2 minute, but I'm trying to see the time right down there is what I'm really focused on. I want to see this 2 minute candle close below, because if this 2 minute candle closes below that change in the state, it's confirmed that price definitely wants to go lower, but it doesn't matter where, it just wants to go lower. So you got to realize, where you're putting your stop loss at, where you're putting everything. Because look, you'll see at this candle, easily could have got stopped out, but that's where price wanted to go. It wanted to make its last return to. And, I'm up. Look, you'll see it probably this next 30-second candle. I'm up like $100 right here. Boom. Price goes crazy. And it's, damn near about to stop me out. So I'm going to let the live recording pretty much keep going. And, I showed where I tightened up my stop. I put it at $94 in profit. So, yeah. To validate, like, word, we got a 5 minute change right there. Bet. We're opening up. See, look, that's what I mean. Easy for the market to just come back up and just reverse it. So I'm cutting my loss back, if anything. So now we come in, we tap inside of this 1 minute. I'm just explaining how and where price action was really going. So we came back, we returned up into a 1 minute, which also was a 2 minute fair value gap as well. So the market has every right to come back up into an open fair value gap, which fill it and then again move lower. So that's kind of what I was aiming for after that, because I'm like, all right, well, price, it can do that, but what's gonna happen after that? Like, are we gonna fail to go back lower? Because if we failed to go back lower, I mean, yeah, if we failed to go back lower, then I would have gotten out the trade. I wouldn't have held the trade as long as I held it for. But if we're still showing signs that we want to move lower and not move higher, I'm holding and I'm confident in why I'm holding. So that's just the big things to realize why you're taking the trade. But again, we had buy side swept. We're inside of a 1 hour bearish to go lower. Buy side getting taken out the market is another trigger for it to go lower. A bearish SMT, that's a higher confluence for us to go lower. And there's nothing stopping us from going lower. So like there's really no imbalances that the market really will come and fill and stop us. And I'm showing you guys right there, and that's the only one. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna continue to target lower because that's exactly what I'm confident in. So just hold the trade, and from there, it just it rocks out. It does its own thing. So I jump ahead a little bit, and just to show you guys, like, it's the same trade. I tighten up my risk a little bit, right? And I'm really just watching this trade on the 15 minute. So I really just want to see displacement. I'm recognizing that there's no really equal spot on the market, like that if sell side got taken out, it would put in the SMT, other than the sell side I'm targeting, which is that sell side and the same exact sell side that I'm targeting on NQ. So that now allows me to have even more confidence that this is the draw. Like the sell side level is the draw and lower is the draw. And me having my take profit a little ahead of that just gives me a lot more confidence. All right, bet, I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm showing you guys the differences in what, like, where, like, the pricing, if I target a little lower, yeah, I make it and a couple extra bucks, but you know, why wouldn't you want it to be really confirmed on it going there, Easily close, and I'm thinking ES is gonna take that low. If you look to the right, look how close it is. So if ES were to take the low before NQ, I'd full close and I'd walk away with my profits and I'm cool. But ES didn't even take the low. So I'm just like, all right, well, the low's still intact. So no matter what, as soon as that low gets taken out on ES or NQ, I'm out, That's literally just the rules. But if you watch, like, this next candle comes, we start getting this rebalance and get nervous. They won't stick to the higher time frame. They'll they'll think like, oh shit, like, it's rebalancing. I'm not gonna be able to, catch that trade no more. And once they see this green candle come in, boom, they're done. They left $300 on the table, which is okay. You can always leave money on the table, but if you're leaving it on the table because your decisions are weak, I guess you could say, and they're not so thoroughly thought, then that's where bad emotions start making, they start making the decisions. So like, I'm gonna show the 1 minute gets disrespected, the 2 minute gets disrespected, but look at the 3 minute. The 3 minutes holding, and then I'm gonna show the 5 minute. The 5 minute held. So why would I close the trade if it's still showing me that bearish and that we want to move lower and that there's still lows intact? We have a wide open 4 hour sell side, and then we got that 50% mark of the range. Why would I close my trade if I know all those have yet to been met and I'm still targeting there? There's no need. So once I zoom in, I start looking for a reason. Now I'm looking for the real reason. Okay, what's supposed to happen that will send us back lower? Because if that doesn't show me, then I'm out the trade. And now I actually have a real thought out decision. Okay, word, I'm done. But that's when I notice market puts in a SMT. SMT gets put in. It's small, but guess what? It gets put in. And no matter what, if it's a SMT, it should change in the state lower all over again. If it's bearish, it should change the state lower. And if it doesn't, then it's not valid. And then that would allow me to just simply, you know what, I'm out the trade. So I was holding this trade for, I think about like 20, I think somewhere around 25 minutes, something like that. Yeah, like 25 minutes to 30 minutes, something like that. But boom. Once I seen that aggression, it's 10-10, the macro's about to end. I'm like, yeah, this should uh this should definitely, it should be the SMT that sends us lower again. All that stuff is still intact. Like the low is still intact. Sell side still there. The 4 hour is still wide open. Why would we not just fill that and then move higher? Why would we move all the way higher to come back lower then? That's not how it works. I wanted to see that change in the state of delivery like all over again. So there's another model. It was on the 3 minute. So I jumped to the 3 minute time frame. And once I seen the 3 minute, there was a bullish fair value gap. So if the bullish fair value gap got inversed to the downside and we closed through, I'll now put my stop loss at that candle's high. And you'll see exactly what I'm about to say. So I jumped to the 3 minute time frame. I'm like, word, yup, that bullish gap right there. I want to see us inverse that. So now I move my stop loss a tiny bit lower as well because it's like I'm trailing aggressive because it should happen here. This is where the market should pick back up, and get sent lower. So it's just noticing these things. And now look, if I would have closed out at 500, I would have missed 300 on the table. But now, no matter what, I'm securing this because I moved my stop loss in profit. I don't have it at minus $50 no more. I have it at plus 480. So I'm going to make that bread regardless. And you should reward yourself with things like that because that's how it's supposed to work. I made the decision to go short all the way where I went short, And why would I not, secure something? Like wins add up, losses don't. So like, but dumb wins, they get you ahead of yourself. Smart wins, you feel good, like pat on the back and keep moving. So I'm like, word, this 30 seconds should hold if we really want to go lower. Like all the fair value gaps that get created should send price to where they should go. If it's the right time and if that's the draw on liquidity. And we made that whole entire move down. Why would we rebalance all the way back up to go down? It's just, we probably want to take out the low first, then, rebalance. So I'm like, bet, I want to see this 3 minute change. And if we get that 3 minute change, that's what's going to confirm really what I want to see. So, and that's going to really determine my trade. So 1 more minute till this candle closes. Stop is at a great, great spot in profit. So holding through the noise, gathering your thoughts through the noise. It's the hardest thing to do. It's the most important thing to learn though. Holding through the noise. That creates fear in traders' eyes. But when you can hold through it and you find confidence out of it, that's probably the best thing for you. So about 5 seconds. So it looks like we're gonna get that change it all over again when this candle closes. I want to see some delivery. We can pull back up to that change, but I'm gonna put my stop above that inverse. I don't even want to see the market return higher after changing, and we're that close to sell side. That's kind of why, if we're in a different position in the market, then that's different. But where we're at, I'm like, all right, we're at a change in the state off the 3 minute again. We should go lower. I don't want to see higher, So I'm telling myself this at that time, and once this 3 minute closes, once that 3 minute candle closes, I'm putting that now as my stop loss. So I moved it above the inverse because it shouldn't even want to fill higher. We're inside of that 30 seconds. So now stop loss is just it's gonna get aggressively trailed. I'm gonna trail it pretty much until it either wants to hit TP or pull back up. And I'm okay with that. Again, I'm walking away with that, so we're about $100 away. And once I get that next leg in profit, it's, I walk away pretty much with great decision making, and that's what confirms my trades, decision making. Not the emotions. The emotional side will make you it will make you just make irrational decisions, and you'll see the results of that. So got that 5 minute change as well. We pulled up to it. We pulled back to it already. So I'm pretty sure I moved my stop loss even lower from here because that's what I wanted to see out of it. That I trail it. Now it gets trailed even more. We're about to hit TP, and that's pretty much it. I'm pretty sure I did not trail it any more than that. But I mean, even with another candle closure to the downside, you know, that's exactly what I want to see. So we get a 3 minute change. Oh yeah, candle. I moved it to that candle's high right there. So about six. Just keep it coming. Don't worry about where it's at. Doesn't matter. So after that candle closed, we opened up. I didn't even want to see us return into the 3 minute gap we made. We made a 3 minute gap. I didn't even want to see a return there. So it was pretty much as simple as go to TP or that's it, because we're that close. You can't do this when you just had entered your trade, but this is how you do it when you're damn near about to be out of your trade. So now look, yep, I moved it right there. Now it's 7:38. Now I'm just securing. This candle's pretty much got to be the candle to take profit or not. And I didn't close here, so market stopped me out, or not stopped me out, but market hit TP. So boom, just like that, order filled. And where are we going to run to? Sell side. And, we have that 4 hour below us as well. It was just a really good decision making day. But that's pretty much just like the trade recap. I went live, can watch it live on YouTube, can see exactly how, you know, and why I'm entering, what I'm looking at before the market. But that's pretty much the trade recap. Want to keep it small, want to keep it short for people to just learn. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Till next time, stay safe.